Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we are taking a look at Morrow. We are over on Kiasma, the Legends account. It is only 4-star, unfortunately, just strapped for resources. Couldn't get quite to that 5-star at this stage, but we're pretty kitted up. We're still on just tier 2 gear, but that's fine. What today's video is a bit of a fun one. Now, there's more testing to be done with Morrow in the end game state of things, but Kiasma hit me up with his idea. He's like, I wonder if we could make Morrow cheese based on the idea of his furniture, where he extends the duration of his CC, and he's got his 2 really solid CCs, so they'd be extended by up to 100% if you put fodder in there and units die and all that good stuff. So Kiasma found a sort of cheese team that works, so we're going to have a bit of fun and we're going to show you that idea. Now, I'm curious to see if he could work very well as an early game carry based on these type of mechanics. And when I say early game, early to mid game, up to 240, when you just get to 240, you've got a few ascended heroes. He could work pretty decently in this sense, but we're going to have a bit of fun, so let's get into it. Okay, and just to recap, what we're really looking at here is this one here, where he puts them into a web for 6 seconds, which would add up to 12 seconds. And then we do have this one here, where it forces them to attack their own allies for 6 seconds, which once again could get increased to 12 seconds. This guy is actually an absolute beast at like a 2v1. He can really lock enemies out for a 2v1, or especially a 1v1 if you get down to that stage. That's why I'm thinking maybe for a carry, like he could be like really decent early game. And the fact that he is only a light bearer, well, he's a hyper gene, but his master's a light bearer. You can get him from normal summons, so not too bad. So what we're going to look at here is this team. Now, obviously, take the word cheese with a grain of salt. We do have the Mezoth. Now, I think in other formations, you might be able to get away with this sort of stuff. But the Mezoth was needed here just to protect him. So it's not a genuine cheese because he does need a little bit of protection. And we put the Talene in there because Talene's obviously going to heal them up, but also lose a chunk of health. And then we got 2 fodder in there as well. Idea being, we ramp up that CC duration on him really quick, but it's not a bad little 3-man team. Now, I'm sure early game and substitutes you could use, maybe even get away with a Brutus with a Talene. I feel like Talene's going to be pretty vital to this one, to keep whoever's the thick unit in front is, keep them alive. I'm thinking maybe we could even try it with something like maybe a Grazul, a Thorin, or a, what's old mate's name? Pirate Man? Hodgkin? Forgot Hodgkin's name for a sec. But I feel like we could try and make it work with one of them. I know this one works, so we're going to go ahead and demonstrate this one. But like I said, we got the 2 fodders, and the idea is to proc his furniture really quickly so that he has a really long CC. So we'll play it, put on 1 time speed. Hopefully it doesn't fail. I mean, it can fail, but I know it does eventually work. And you can see we got the CC up the top, which is actually lasting a decent chunk of time. I think that's been now 7 seconds, 8 seconds, so like early ramp up. We did lose the Mezoth there, so we are going to be screwed in this one because too many of the enemies are still alive for him to come back from. So let's go ahead and try it again. Boo, 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 boo. I literally tried this just before. Maybe 4 times speed is the trick. Mezoth's still alive. Mezoth gets low. Talene heals Mezoth up. Yep. And then we go again with the lick. And here we go. Block them ults. We got the... Whoop, 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 whoop. Everyone getting low, get the licks, get the CCs, and you can see that Namora down the bottom. Like, that is on 4 times speed, that is CC for days. Like, still in the cocoon. Like, look at that time in the cocoon from the Namora. It's ridiculous. Obviously this one doesn't work as well because we do have the tree that's going to be immune. Damn it, he died. Alright, you could get the gist from that, but what I'm going to do is, it worked 2 times in a row for me. Back in a sec with a victory. And there we go, got the victory, we'll play it. Now, he did get really low at one stage here, like really low, and then the Talene saved him, so, we got some clutch there. But what I want to do is I want to try this actual team with a different tank than Mezoth, because I feel like there's a lot of people with a Talene out there who, don't use the, like, Talene's just like a swap around now. She's not like the core part to teams at the moment, so she's sort of like a substitute unit. And if you can get like Morrow plus Talene plus like one other more accessible unit than Mezoth, it could be kind of cool. So let's have a bit of a play. Nothing, no promises from this bit. This is having fun. I just laughed when Kiasma sent me that, because you could tell Kiasma was like, "Ooh, this could be a thing," and then he was having a lot of fun, and that made me have a lot of fun. So let's jump into this. Let's go with, I'm gonna try Hodgkin first, because I don't want to use Thorin, because I feel like using Thorin is a bit cheap, because you want to use him for the thingamabob anyway. Oh, come on, Hodgkin, use your ult again. Yes. Come on. Talene, distract them. Oh, Hodgkin down. No. We didn't have the damage. Okay, I thought that was going to be close. I actually thought that one was going to be close. Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's get that ship out, please. Get the ship out and get your heal up. Ship. Oh, dude. Dude, it was close. It was close. But I mean, if you can do it, it's pretty decent. Let's go. Let's go. Hodgkin, ult, please. Ult, please. Fear them. Yes, good. Talene comes back. We do another ult. Morrow, yes. Hodgkin just getting flopped. Just getting flopped. I mean, some decent CC. Let's try a different team. What do we got here? That team probably ain't going to be the one. Maybe this team? Or that team's probably got too much sustain. This one, maybe? Let's try this team. Let's try this team. We're going to put you there. We're going to put you there. Put you there. See how this goes. Let's see. Curiosity. Flora's surviving too long. Where? I'm going to do some playing and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I've played around here for about, I want to say 35 minutes, and unfortunately Mezoth's the only thing thick enough, but I think what I want to take away from this one is I'm really keen to see what some people can do with him early game. I'm going to try and get summon him and test him myself in the early side of the game, but the other thing is that him plus tanky unit plus Talene fill in the last two spots is actually really solid. From my, like, I did a lot of testing just there using different tanks. I even tried Torn and stuff like that, some Gorvo action, some Titus, some Scrag. And I feel like he actually has some really good synergies with just tanky units, and then you can fill in the last spots of what you need, whether you need more damage and stuff like that. So I think that's the big takeaway that I've got out of this one. Now, I do think he's going to be fantastic with more control-based teams, you know, your Khazards. I still want to test my Burst team, which I will test in another video, but I just wanted to make this video about this because I think it's found like a nice little synergy for him. So I wanted to show you this one basically, which is using Arthur and Talene. Arthur and Talene's a bit funny because every second ult, Talene will put herself in range to help Arthur heal himself. So that is one thing that you can play around with. So we'll see here that Arthur stays just alive with his shield. Talene goes out of range, which heals him, but then also loses his shield. Then loses his self-healing, but then she goes back into range, which gives Arthur his healing. She moves out, and you just keep dancing back and forth in between that dance. But as you can see, we do pretty solid. Now, the enemy team just has a lot of sustain. They got the Nomura and the Tree, and the Saurus, and it's just... Actually, the Saurus doesn't have 30 signature, I don't think, but the Tree and the Nomura is a lot of healing to try and overcome. So that was our big issue there, and I feel like with RNG on different CC targets and stuff like that, you could actually do pretty decent. Now, obviously, the Saurus is going to be healing himself. But yeah, there's a lot of sustain in that team. So I feel like if we brought a bit more damage into it, we'd be good in this sense. So it's just that base fundamental that I think really works well, is that he works well in those stally type teams and more CC based teams, for the fact that he gets to ramp up that CC that he does do, and the synergy with the Talene losing the health all the time but then getting it back, extending the duration of his CC and stuff like that is really, really handy, I think. And I think it's going to be a nice synergy to sort of try and exploit moving forward. Not even exploit, just take use of. So yeah, like, in a lot of these teams, unfortunately, the stage run sucks because this has a Screg, which kind of just screws that whole idea of CCing them for days, because the Screg just mounts up and just goes, I don't care. This one has a Flora and it's just not happening. This one was kind of annoying to 3-man because we do have the Forks and the Tassie, so one's always getting banished and then we just get destroyed. And then this one here has the Gorvo invading lines and the Tassie. So these teams were all really hard to do a 3-man, or a quote-unquote a cheese for the Morrow, but nonetheless, I think he's going to be pretty decent. Now, like I said, I will come back in another video because I've actually got to run, so this is all I'm going to have time for this one. But yeah, we will come back and we'll do like a proper test of all the different teams. Like I said, anything with Khazard, anything with CC based, Pippa, Tassie, all that stuff going to be fantastic. But I definitely want to test some burst ideas with him, even though I know he's not so bursty. It was my first idea with him, so I want to play around with it. So anyway, guys, that was the little bit of fun that Kiasma showed me with Morrow. I thought it was pretty cool, but definitely a synergy there. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.